Hello, YouTube future family. I don't know who this might help. Or, hang on. There you go, the light's better. I don't know who this might help or who it might reach, but I had an epiphany today and I had a realization of having true confidence and also finding how to kind of know how to be yourself and also having true friendship. Okay, so you need kind of background context on the epiphany that happened today, like actually like today, right? So you need to know what kind of happened to kind of lead to this realization, right? Because without context, it just might this might not make sense. This might not be formulated in a sense where like people could actually like 100% use it to count on to help them in their own journey of self confidence, in their own journey of life, you know, because every path is different, right? So, I'm gonna start by talking about self confidence, okay? So, um, so starting off with self confidence, you should know that today, I'm top 10, and I'm ranked at a 6, okay, out of the 98 in our class. So we went to go take, or not take, well, sort of take and or like do an interview for the colleges that we're gonna go to or whatever, right? So I have friends in school, except they're not top 10. I'm top 10. And it, I guess it didn't bother me, and they're really supportive of me and the way that I am academically, right? But I do wish that they had been top 10. However, they're not, right? So it's fine. However, like we love each other, we support each other, right? Except that when I was in the top 10, we kind of from our school we took a bus to do this to go to the studio where we're gonna film. Sorry, excuse me, that where we're gonna film, and these group of people, which I'm not gonna mention here, kind of formed their own little like group. So we're 10, right? Like say 8 of them formed their own group. The one kind of that was left over, actually we'll say seven that formed their own group. One of them which kind of like joined in because they like talked to each other or whatever, or might like was minding their own business. And then like these two girls that are twins, right, which they kind of like outside their group, but they're like together, so they have their own group because they're twins, you know, like, you know. So I was kind of like, out of those people, I was kind of like left out a little bit, right? And normally, this would have made me feel bad. Okay, this is normally like my normal mindset of me being me, right? And it was like I would feel like insecure because I'm like, oh, I just want to fit in, I just want to be like them. And then there was another girl, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, and she really is. And these people were hyping her up and were saying, oh wow, you're so pretty, like you're the example, and this and that, right? And I was like, damn, like she really is, right? But then I was like, dude, if say you're ugly, right? You really can't do much about it. Like if you're ugly, you're ugly. So like you just accept it. If that makes sense, you know? Like say I'm even if I believe I'm pretty, right? But if you're like, oh no, you're not pretty, but I feel like someone else is pretty, and you're like, no, but you're like, I'm prettier than you, but like there's gonna be someone else that's prettier than you. Like if you're prettier than me, there's gonna be someone prettier than you, and then there's someone gonna be prettier than her, and then there's someone gonna be prettier than her, right? You get what I mean? Like it's this cycle of like comparison where you're like, oh no, but I just want to be like that. I just want to be like that. And then I was like, but wait, if I'm ugly, so what? Like I really can't do anything about it. Like, like you really can't. Like it is what it is. You are what you are. Like you really can't. You can't do much. You know, you just accept it. And that acceptance alone, and that moment that I started comparing myself, I was like, no, don't compare, because you really can't change it. You really can't control it. And honestly, I felt it. I'm not like I'm pretty sure you probably saw it outwardly, but I felt it within me, where I was like, oh damn, like I feel like I was feeling insecure, and to that my expression was kind of like dimming. My self confidence was kind of like like crouching down, you know, I don't like to like, but it was kind of like crouching down, and I was like, no, I don't want to be like that. Like, that is not the person I want to be. I've been like that for the past 4 years. I'm not gonna be like that still, you know. So it did take me like probably 4 whole years of me thinking that way to kind of get out of it, right? So that so that kind of moment happened in the studio itself, right? Some people, yeah, they did like, this. I tried to make small conversation, but like they didn't really make it back, and then they started to make small conversation with me, but like that was it. You know, there was nothing more to it, nothing more like in depth, right? And the thing I was thinking about these people, or this girl in particular that they were saying that she was really pretty, right? I was thinking about like I kind of feel bad for her in the sense that how is she when she is alone? Like, does she, like, hypothetically, if someone is always hyping you up, like, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, like, how much do you feel to have validation from other people outside of yourself, and then when you are alone by yourself and your own um emotions with your own self, like, you don't have that validation from the people around you, do you still feel as confident as like you did when you were with them? And I'm not this is not like criticizing, it's just like something that I kind of acknowledged, and I kind of like felt bad for her in the sense of like I hope she does have internal love for herself and her internal confidence, and not just expressed outwardly because of the people around her. Another thing is that I got this confidence more was when I was in the bus like back to the school. So I was on the way back. I like to sit in the very front of the seats. These group of people that I'm telling you about, they kind of all sat in the like towards like the back area of like the bus, right? So it was just me in the front, and then like the seat forward was like the teacher there or whatever, right? And then for a moment, I felt bad. I felt bad because I'm like, damn, like I really like don't have like friends here, like, you know, I'm alone here, and I was like, I just wish I could fit in, you know, like I just wish I could fit in. But then like there is like, what's the point of fitting in if those people are not the people I want to be friends with? Those people are not the people I find value in. The accomplishments of me being top 10, the accomplishments of me getting my EKG, my phlebotomy, was never based on people with popularity or people with superficial values. They're based off my hard work that I've put with the people around me that have loved me, that have supported me just the way I am. And that's where I kind of, in that moment, I found my confidence. I was like, wait, what? Like, I want to fit in to people that don't want me. I want to fit in to people who are clearly superficial, who clearly do not see value in the in depth of themselves. You get me? You kind of get where I'm going? And I don't know. I just, in that moment, I was like, dude, what am I doing caring about what these people think? Like, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the life that I have. I'm proud of the relationship I have with my family. I'm proud of the friends that I have. And I'm proud of my accomplishments. And I'm proud of my siblings. And I'm proud of my life as a whole because it has meaning to me, even if it doesn't have meaning to other people. And the same way that you, all people watching, should also think that way. You shouldn't compare your life to anyone else. As a matter of fact, to this video, it should be your reasoning to be like, oh crap, like you're right. I'm not going to be comparing myself to other people's lives. It's your own. It's your own life. It's the people that care about you. It's the people that want you. The song from Lucas Graham, 7 years old, says, only the ones that really love me are only the ones that really love me are the ones who only know me, or something like that. I'll put the full quote, right? And like it was just true. Only the people that truly love you, truly care for you, are gonna be the ones who are truly there to value you, to value the person that you are, to value the beliefs, to value your inspirations, your ambitions, your passion, your everything. Like, you are the person made up as a whole, okay? So don't try to dim that just to fit in. You don't need to fit in, okay? Unless, you know, not unless, you don't need to fit in. If the people want you, they would have wanted you from the very beginning, okay? Like, they're not gonna, like, don't try to get illusions or ideas. And that's what kind of happened also today. When we were in the studio, I saw people from other schools that I kind of knew, because I was from a different school. And I was like, damn, like, imagine the life I could have had with them. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. Because had I been in my original school, the school that I am now, the early college that I am now, I would have probably like thought the same way. Like, oh, if I was in that school, I probably would have been friends with those people top 10. You know, like, no, it doesn't work like that. If you would have think about, like, if you would have been in that school, you would have probably had different. Of course, you would have had different friends, but it was probably not going to be the ideal life that you want, because you look at the external and you see, wow, I look at this look at this kind of life that I could have had if I had gone there. Like, no, it's not that way. It's the person that you are, the way that you make it, the way that it is what it is. You know, just let it be. And another key point I want to get to is people struggling with finding their true selves. Because a lot of people say, like, oh, just be yourself, and like you'll meet the people that are right for you, right? Except, how do you know when you are being your true self and when you're not? Okay, today easily I could have tried and pretended, or not pretended, but I could have tried and fit in, right? Except it wouldn't be my true self. And you're like, but like, how do you know, like, it wouldn't be your true self? Because I am not superficial, because I am not caring about other people in the way that they do, because I value more in-depth conversation and they value comparison, and I'm not that way. Those are things on where you kind of have values for yourself in that way. And it kind of goes to another point that I wanted to add here is true friendships, right? So your true self will be guided towards, like, what you want to do, you're gonna do it, not just because you want to be someone else. You get what I mean? Like, um let's say you want to go outside, right? That your true self is something that you want to do, so you do it without wanting someone else to do it for you or do it with you, because that's your true confidence. That's your true self wanting to express itself outwardly, right? You want to go outside on your own, you go outside on your own. There's no one stopping you. I did that. I loved it before I met my friends. And those true friends and kind of like true self kind of go hand in hand, in the sense that, like, freshman year, these superficial people that I'm talking about, this group that they formed in the very beginning, um I sat with them freshman year, because freshman year I had entered late. So I was kind of like jumping tables to see where I kind of found my energy match, right? I sat with the two twins. I didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't some vibe where it just felt homely and lovely. It just wasn't like that. I sat with those superficial group. And it also, I didn't like the vibe. It wasn't right, because they were always very superficial. There's no other way. Like, I don't wear acrylic nails because I don't like it, because when I was young, I saw a girl's nail fall off. I was like, ain't no way that's gonna be me. Just ain't no way. I'm not gonna risk it. So I grow my natural nails. I just don't put acrylics on, and I just don't like it. I also kind of always leave my hair a frizzy mess, or if not, I always put it like in a braid or in a ponytail, or something. I always do something to my hair, but it's not the way that they do their hair. And they told me, like, oh, why don't you wear nails? Why don't you do your hair? Why don't you wear makeup? I don't like wearing makeup because it makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes it worse in the hot sweaty sun. I'm not gonna have it drooping down my face. And like, it is those things that I'm just not comfortable. I couldn't even eat in front of them, you know. And then I found these people, these weird people. Sorry if you're watching. These weird people, these these people that I thought and I judged very early on, where I was like, I do not want to be friends with these people. They're just like not it. They don't even pay attention to the rules. They're so like off the earth. I don't know how else to explain it. But at the same time, that is where I found my most comfort. That is where I found my support. That is where I found myself comfortable being myself. And you're like, how do you know, again, how do you know you're being yourself? Because you don't have to pretend to do something you don't want to do. Because you don't have to be uncomfortable. It makes you the opposite. It makes you comfortable. It makes you at ease. It doesn't. You don't have to try to pretend. And you're like, how do you know I'm pretending, or that's just something I want to do now? Well, for the first of all, like, let me just tell you like this is that if you're seeing yourself wanting to wear makeup just because other people are telling you, you're doing something you don't want to do. But if you want to do it because you're just curious about it and you like it and you're actually genuinely interested, okay, fine, then that's your true self expressing. But you would know the difference when you're there, when you're doing something, because no one knows you better than you know you. You know what I mean? And it like kind of also ties back to your confidence, that you're confident enough to stand alone, that you don't need anyone else. When freshman year, when I was hopping around because I entered a month late, I also spent so I after I hopped around with random people groups, I just didn't find it where I settled in. So I sat by myself. Excuse me. So I sat by myself, and I found the confidence to go to the library when I wanted to be outside because I love being outdoors, to be outside and eat my lunch outside so I can but I never hid away. Like, don't you think like, oh, she ate her lunch in the restroom? Like, no, I didn't do that. But it was just that self confidence that I found. I would eat lunch in the tables inside when because there was like these two chairs tables that they had, and I would eat it inside. And then this group of people approached me. They were seniors by the time I was freshman, and they were so nice. They gave me advice. They're like, don't get in trouble. Make sure you do your classes. Make sure you don't skip. Make sure you have goals. Make sure you have this. And it was like such the right people at the time for me to realize, like, you know what, the people that you hang out with really matters. And so then I also like the friends that I have now. They're so supportive. They care for me as I am. I can be weird. I can tell them. I can like say the weirdest things, and they're still gonna be there for me. They're still gonna be accepting of me. That's how you should feel. You should feel comfortable. You should feel loved. You should feel like people care about you. And I, when I like kind of thought about it overall, and I was like, your confidence comes from being assurance of your assurance comes from having assurance of your. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Of yourself. Like, you are sure of yourself. You know you don't need anyone else because you have yourself. And only when you are content with being alone are you ever gonna find other people that surround you with love and help you with love. Yes, there are exceptions and instances that I've heard. Like, some people were like, no, I didn't love myself until I met this person that made me love myself. That's great. That's great for you. But I met a guy when I was very insecure about myself, and he did bring it. Like, he did kind of help me be confident, but he also kind of like diminished the worth that you kind of have for yourself in the way that they treat you. So like, it is not like